When you see Kim Kardashian's glass hair bob or Jennifer Lopez's iconic Super Bowl volume, you aren't just looking at hair, you're looking at the work of Chris Appleton. He is arguably the most influential hairstylist in the world right now, a man who has turned celebrity stylist into a global brand. But while we're used to seeing him on private jets or backstage at the Met Gala, a recent interview has everyone talking about something a little less glamorous, the math behind the magic. On the January 23rd episode of the U Up podcast, Chris got refreshingly candid about his finances, revealing that the cost of his golden touch ranges from humble beginnings to a jaw-dropping six-figure price tag. Today, we're breaking down how a kid from Leicester, England went from $100 cuts to $100,000 sessions, and why he says he actually makes more money not doing hair. Every legend has a starting point. For Chris, that was the local salon floor. During his podcast appearance, he noted that everyone loves the money question, and he didn't shy away from it. I've charged everything from $100 back in the day to, like $100,000. Now, before you start calculating how many haircuts you'd need to retire, Chris was quick to add a massive asterisk to that $100,000 figure. That wasn't for a 30-minute trim at a salon. That was what he calls a whole situation. In the world of the ultra famous, you aren't just paying for a stylist, you are paying for exclusivity, travel, and 24/7 availability. When a billionaire or a top-tier A-lister needs a look for an international tour or a royal wedding, they aren't just booking a service, they are booking him. That six-figure fee often includes international first-class travel, multi-day retainers, and the insurance of knowing that one of the most famous sets of hands in the world is on call at 3 a.m. in a different time zone. Here is where Chris gives a much-needed reality check to anyone thinking the celebrity life is all profit. Even a $100,000 payday doesn't end up as $100,000 in the bank. Appleton explained the dwindle effect. First, there's the tax man. As a high earner in places like California or New York, you're looking at nearly 50% going to the government right off the top. Then you have the glam squad infrastructure, the breakdown of a high-end paycheck, the gross fee, $100,000 the tax, approx 50%, minus $50,000 agent/management fees, 10 to 20%, minus $10,000 to $20,000 assistant salaries and kit restocking, minus $5,000 net profit. Suddenly that six-figure fee looks a lot more like $25,000 or $30,000. Chris noted it gets dwindled down. This is the hidden side of Hollywood. To maintain the lifestyle and the professional standard required to work with the Jenners and Kardashians, the overhead is astronomical. Perhaps the most shocking revelation from the U Up podcast was that Chris nowadays makes more money through his entrepreneurial ventures than he does from actually styling hair. Think about that. The man who styles Kim Kardashian makes more from his business deals than his actual craft. But it makes perfect sense. Styling is active income. If Chris isn't holding a blow dryer, he isn't making money. By pivoting to brand partnerships, like his long-standing relationship with Color Wow, and launching his own products, he has unlocked passive income. The dream coat effect. When Chris uses a product on J.Lo and it goes viral on TikTok, the sales generated outweigh any day rate a celebrity could pay him. The brand ambassador role. He's no longer just a hair guy. He's a face, an influencer, and a consultant. This is the blueprint for modern success in the beauty industry. You use the celebrity clients to build the prestige, but you use the products to build the wealth. But it's not all about the bottom line. Chris made a point to say that he still does a significant amount of work for free, or close to it. Editorial, they don't pay. Cover of Vogue, it's great, but it's not like you're getting paid the big bucks. You do it for doing the cover of Vogue. This is the industry's open secret. If you see a stunning editorial spread in a high fashion magazine, the stylist, the makeup artist, and often the photographer are working for day rates that wouldn't cover a nice dinner in NYC. Why? Because a Vogue cover is the ultimate currency. It's the social proof that allows Chris to charge $100,000 for that private travel gig later in the month. It's a delicate balancing act. Editorial, high prestige / zero pay. Celebrity red carpet, high visibility / moderate pay. Private clients / corporate, low visibility / massive pay. Entrepreneurship, scalable wealth. At 40 years old, Chris Appleton has reached a point where he isn't splitting hairs about his salary. He's realized that the big bucks come from the brand he built, not just the hair he cuts. By being honest about the $100,000 one-offs and the 50% tax hits, he's pulling back the curtain on a world that usually stays hidden behind hairspray and ring lights. He's a reminder that in any industry, the goal isn't just to be the best at your craft, it's to become the owner of your brand. He summed it up perfectly. Honestly, it all balances out. From $100 $100 in Leicester to the top of the Hollywood pyramid, Chris Appleton has proven that while the hair might be a cut above, the business strategy is what truly shines. What do you think? Would you ever pay $100,000 for the ultimate hair experience, or is the Appleton effect something you'd rather buy in a bottle at the store? Let us know in the comments below.